G'day friends, welcome to today's YouTube video. My name is James. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. Today, I'm going to be doing a really quick, very brief. You know I can't help myself, I'll probably talk for 25 minutes. A very quick rundown of the September 2021 Collage Club printables as a part of Jlb Collage Club. All the information in the description box below as per. This is the first sheet I want to talk about, which kind of ties into why there are 4 bonus sheets for this month, because I love them all at these random huge sizes. I made these mixed media, well not mixed media, they're kind of just like paint numbers. Lots of like watercolory ones, big thick impasto ones. I had a dilutions pot that was dry, so I carved out some of that dry acrylic and like molded it into a number. These were just dimensional numbers that I wanted to create, inspired by a lot of the kind of dimensional crafty things that Italian Vogue do with their editorials. Sometimes they'll like get a piece of yarn and write a word with it, and that'll be overlaid on one of their pages, and I love that look. To have that kind of really textural and dimensional kind of element, but it is, you know, obviously not dimensional, and that works really well for us as art journalists, because there's actually no way we could put stuff like this in our art journal and have it retain that kind of depth and dimension. So I wanted to make a paint version of it, you know, obviously for mixed media reasons, and I just love how they came out. Originally I did these, actually they were all different colors, to be honest. I need to say this before I start actually. There is an hour-long feature-length film of behind the scenes of Collage Club for September 2021. So if you want to see any of this come together, there's all the footage from actually making these numbers. I've got all the formatting, the printing, using the silhouette, like all my thoughts and feelings about the process. I did a whole behind the scenes video, so please go check that out if you really want to see some of this in action and how it comes together. I'm just actually going to share kind of the why and what I like about it and just some thoughts to kind of let you know what's going on for September. But anyway, these were definitely inspired by those Italian Vogue pages. I love them, they look so pretty. I edited some of the colors on Photoshop so that I could have more variety in the colors, because a lot of them are made with some of the same paints, but then some I just really went nuts with and had like happy accidents. I was getting super experimental where I'd use some of this textural Martha Stewart like gel watercolor, and then I'd add watercolor over the top of it so it looked really crazy, like moss was growing on it. I don't know, crazy look. These were really fun, these big, this was I don't know what it was called. It's Sennelier Abstract Acrylic, but it came out in this really like great tube. It looked like toothpaste. Some I would drop extra colors into, and you get this really fascinating kind of like stormy effect. I am just obsessed with all of them, so I'll let you have a look through. I did divide them into, there are 100 total, not here. This was the page I originally wanted to make. The reason the 4 extra ones are in here is because I loved all these big wonky sizes, but this is the page, right? So there are 100 here. The first 5 are the colorful and bright ones, and these second 5 are the neutral ones, or the kind of less colorful ones. So that's how I've broken them up. As per usual, I include the silhouette files, so there's a great silhouette file for this as well, which means you can have an entire page of kiss cut stickers with all your numbers, and because there's 10 of each, you can use these for a whole month and then still have some left over. So this is going to be really, really great. Love this, can't get enough of this, very happy that I committed the time and energy to putting it together, because it did take a long time. That's the numbers. The second one is a whole bunch of my stamp and illustration process, where I use my concept stamp sets and then I kind of characterize them, draw over the top of them. Essentially I stamp out the base, draw on top. That's why they look so uniform, and there's a good continuity there. These are from the Concepts 2, this 3/4 look. And then this is from my original concept stamp set, the front-facing look. If you are keen-eyed, you might notice that there is one of these missing. It's more of a Halloween one, and honestly I didn't include it because I wanted these all to be relatively the same size, and it actually wouldn't have fit and had these be as big as I wanted them. So that's why I added this little lineup down here. I may end up adding those kind of Halloween Stepford Wives ones at Halloween, possibly. Let's see if I remember. So, actually I should remember, it's only next month, right? So this is the Bertie Bott's girls that I did. These are the Lullaby League, these were the Stepford Wives, this was Strawberry Shortcake inspired, and this one was inspired by kind of a mix between Stella and the Art Journaling the Magic Wizarding Artist Society, little like Harry Potter inspired monthly thing that we do at Art Journaling the Magic. So these were really fun. I'm glad to share these because this is that part where I say I put in stuff that we've done throughout the month, but even though these were from 2020, these were a lot of different live streams that we had so much fun with. So I feel like this is a really good way for me to be able to share that. And I know that people sometimes play along in those live streams and maybe have not, like, unless I post it on Instagram straight away, you kind of don't get to see everything close up and you don't get to really you know, you kind of get what you get on the live stream and then it just goes away. So unless I share it, I know that some people probably want to see more of that. And this is, this I think would be a great thing to have, especially even if you've got the concept stamp sets and you're looking to follow something that's a little guided, since these were made with those. So I'm hoping that this will kind of spark some of those good memories we shared in 2020 and all those live streams, and also provide some nice decoration for your journals. I really love these. I am very happy to have them this month. They were for August, but I already had 5 sheets, so I rolled this over to September. So this one was already pretty much done by the time I started. That is great. Love them. This page is Disney villains inspired, and that is to kind of mark the upcoming Virtual Voyage 5 that we have in October. We're doing a 2-week live workshop, and it's going to be a very villainous voyage, so all things Disney villains, and we're going to look at just everything to have fun, really. I will talk more about that at another time. This, I just want to say, I do consider the Neverland mermaids from Peter Pan villains. They are villains. In my world, they're villains, so you just have to get on board with that. The rest of it, very inspired by Rolly Crump and Yoshitomo Nada. So I've been doing a lot of style studies there, and so you can definitely see those influences peeking up. Anyway, love these. Love the little candy apple girls as well. Thought these would be really fun to have. They're kind of getting me in the mood, and hopefully if you're planning on joining us for Virtual Voyage 5, they will get you in the mood too, and you can already start marking out some of your calendar dates. We're starting October 11th, I believe we've settled. October 11th to the 25th. Do not quote me on that just yet. Wait for the official announcement. Love those. The numbers. That is not in the right section. Where's the... there. I've just got this all mixed up. Here we go. This page is a lot of characters. We did her on a live stream. She's also... You can learn how to draw this, not this version, but a simpler version in A Page in 10, my series where I do the 10-minute journaling pages. I think number 16. You should see it on the thumbnail. It should look like this. Not this one, but a simple version. I think it's number 16. You can learn how to draw a simple version. On Instagram Live, I decided to do a much more fully finished rendered version just because I was curious to see it. So I decided to include her. I think it's really fun. This was testing some paints. I really liked the look of that one. This one was some leftover paints from all those numbers. This I finished in my spare time and I really loved her. This is from Art Snacks, my Art Snacks video. Lots of mixed media. A little house elf from one of my Wizarding Artist Society journals. A little, what's it called? I was watching the Hayley Mills Parent Trap, so that's why she's got that hair. And she's also kind of woodland creatures because they're camping. This is from one of my new Art Journaling the Magic journals. But I just put her in there because it's really cute and really tiny. This is super vintage, like years and years and years and years and years ago. But I really, really wanted to put her in there because I don't know if I share much of that period very often. I know this was was it? I think this is around the time, this might have been 2017-ish. I think this was around the time I was starting to get more fully into mixed media but hadn't really committed to it yet. So I have a lot of stuff from that period that I do really like, but I don't know, sometimes I don't share it that much. So I wanted to include something super vintage this month, and there's a nice Alice for you there. This is the last page before you get to the 4 bonus numbers pages. And I have green stars. I explained this before, but I use green stars to mark where I go to Zumba classes, and hoping I can use all of these. There's a real incentive now to go to 20 Zumba classes in September. I think I managed to go to 16 or 17 in August, which is huge for me because that's a lot to fit into my schedule. But I'm gonna try. Should I try? I should try. I'm going today, so I'll get to use at least one. A little bit of a Mickey Mouse page. super fun. I put a lot of Disney stuff in here because A, I just love Disney, but B, I got a magic key to like a Disney annual pass just recently, and so I've got lots to catch up on. So I'm gonna have a lot of fun using my Disney stuff in there, including this little Minnie Mouse girl. She's the one I included for my magic key. This was from my Wizarding Artist Society journal as well. This is one of my stamp sets, the Just Face stamp set, and I just literally flooded the whole thing with watercolor, and then I just picked out her eyes, her nose, and her lips and her ears with some graphite. And so she has this like really celestial, super fun, you know, look. I love the way that looks. I know it's super specific and a little bit bizarre, but that just really floats my boat. So she's in there. These two teacups were from my lesson that I taught at Wizarding Artist Society, the cats and the teacups. I made this one pretty big. I don't usually make like non-character things this big, but I thought it would just be fun. I drink coffee all the time, even though it's not tea. I used to love having things stick up out of the mug, so I could even have her like inside this, I could just stick it on top of it really. And I think that just is such a great way to start a fun mixed media piece in your art journal. Super whimsical, the colors go together, so that was a bit of a thought. And then this little watermelon boy, he's from my Art Journaling the Magic journal, and so are these little scrumps. These were from a long time ago, but I thought they were cute. And like I said, adding a few little Disney things. Stitch is one of my favorite Disney characters, so, you know, Scrump is... it's obviously attached. This is the 4 extra pages, the 4 extra pages of numbers. What is it about filming a video where you just lose the will to speak proper English? Like, out here speaking like I speak any other language. This is my only language and I cannot even grasp it. So this is the 4 extra pages, big, wonky sizes, super fun, all different colors. I really am attracted to the neutrals. I don't know why. So I'm going to pick out some of my favorite numbers just so you can see. No one asked, but I'm going to. I like this one just because it felt like at least I could do something with the paint that dried up. And then fun fact, I repurposed this 1 into this number 2 with the same paint. I had just like squished it up and pushed it into the page a bit more. I really like the numbers where there was a paint and then I went over it with another paint. So this was gold or bronze, and then I went over it with a red from that face paint palette I have, this one here. This one I used a lot to kind of like dip into other numbers. So this, I put the red on top, and I just kind of made this blended patchy effect, which I really liked. These kind of, I know these textures look a bit unappealing, so you don't have to use all those numbers, obviously, but this texture I filled with watercolor on top and let it like pool into all these little gaps, and it made this really fun. It almost looks like coral. These colors were actually really horrendous when I first did it. I switched them on Photoshop, but yeah, I love this number as well. These ones, these creamy colored ones, they're super satisfying to look at. I don't know why. Hopefully someone else finds that satisfying. This green one, just love that. I had a dark green and I dropped some of that white, it's messy, this white face paint on top. These are like super opaque, so they do a really good job showing up in these paint swatches. I didn't let any of these dry. Some of them would have dried with this impasto look, but a lot of them would have just seeped into the paper over time and they wouldn't retain any of this. So I actually had to do this kind of quickly for some of them. Like this one, as soon as I do it, I had to pick up my phone and take a photo of it. These, obviously, I couldn't scan since they're dimensional. I had to take photos of them. Once I had squeezed out the paint or put it all together, I used a pipette as well and would leak water into the numbers to kind of dimensionalize them a bit more, kind of puff them up. Once I did it, I had to quickly take a photo of it, and the reason I took a photo is so I could keep that dimension, that 3D look, and that's how you see, and the reason that shows up is because the highlights from the ring light were really pronounced, but also the shadows you could see. If I put them on a scanner, most of them, especially the water ones, wouldn't have even survived the trip to the scanner, but any of these bigger ones would have still flattened out, and you still wouldn't have gotten that nice dimension. So these were all done just by using my iPhone and taking a quick photo of them as flat as I could get it, and then I did all the editing on Photoshop, including changing a lot of the colors. A lot of these weren't, in fact maybe all of these aren't the colors that they originally started at, so that was actually kind of fun. It was a little limiting for some of them, but it was really fun. Which ones do I like from here? I really like this silver one. I don't know why. It's kind of pewter looking silver. This is appealing to me, but it looks, I don't know what it looks like. It looks like a hot tar from a road, like gravel, I guess. I don't know. This one is super fun. It was actually, I was squeezing a part of the, what's it called? The paint out, and it was all the binder liquid. It had separated from the paint before I'd shaken it up. So you got these little streaks of the paint trying to make it through, but a lot of it was just the clear liquid binder. Sorry, I just like hiccuped. Yeah, I love these. This color, I mean, that looked insane. I don't know how that happened in Photoshop. The original color is this really hot neon pink. But when I changed it to orange and yellow, it just, oh, it looks like lava toffee. I love that. And then in these, I really love this. This one was the only one I think I kept with bubbles. The bubbles were annoying me, but I thought, oh, whatever. I'll keep one of them with it. Maybe I'll like that eventually. This one to me looks like a Cheeto. And this one is probably the most satisfying because it looks very round. Anyway, that's all. I could stay here for days talking about numbers, but I did say I'd try and do this quickly. I hope that explains everything you can expect from Collage Club in September 2021. Remember, there's that whole hour-long video if you really want to see everything come together. Go have a watch of that, or if you just want to see some behind-the-scenes footage of, you know, what goes into some of the work that happens behind the scenes. I think it's just fun for that kind of vlog footage. Also, if you want to join Collage Club, we have 4 months rotating. That's how we do. Anything that isn't on Collage Club, you'll see it's rotated out over to Etsy. So if you see sheets from like January, February, March, April, May that you really like, they are available for individual purchase over on Etsy. We do separate that just to keep the value consistent so that every time someone joins Collage Club, there's always 4 months accessible, which at $5 is 20 sheets. This month there's 4 extras, so 24 sheets, which is one of the most affordable and accessible pieces of content you can purchase from JLB Creative. That's how we like to operate that. And then anything that is rotated out becomes available on Etsy. I usually let people just know before we rotate them to download anything they're missing because I let everyone deal with that themselves. But for any other information, you can go and check it out in the description box. There's a link to the page, and if you scroll down the bottom, you can actually see a month at a glance back catalog. I always make sure that that's available for people to preview so that you can literally see what you're going to get when you sign up. Anything that has a little Etsy icon on there, it's all explained in the post, but if you've got to see a little Etsy icon, that won't be in there. It's always the most recent 4 months. So right now we have June, July, August, September. Yeah, I think that's everything. A few other random notes. This paper is matte photo sticker paper from onlinelabels.com. It's US letter size, just the standard white. I use a Canon MX922 printer, and I also just use generic inks if anyone's curious. That printer has suddenly become really expensive, so I don't know why that happens. The first time I bought it was $99 on a Black Friday sale. Second time I bought it was $199. The third time I think it was like $200 and something. I had to buy multiples because it kept breaking them, but that was my fault, not the print. Well, one of them was it just arrived broken, so that was one time their fault. But yeah, no, I've currently got the one I've had for a couple of years now, and it just works like a dream. Absolutely love it. Scanner, printer, fax, copier. Don't need the fax, but definitely enjoy having the scanner and the printer. That is that information. I really don't think there's anything. Oh, Silhouette Portrait 3. That's how I make these sticker sheets. I do have the cut files available. If I make them for myself, I upload them to Teachable as well. But you can just print these out like normal. I know I always show them as sticker sheets. You can just print them out as normal. You do not have to have that silhouette. It's just for people who like to use that cutting machine or their own cutting machines. I have those cut files in there just so it's easier. Like, it's totally easier for me. I use my collage sheets so much more this way. I store them in this binder. Like, I just get a 3-hole punch, and then whenever I need to grab something, I'll just go and grab it out. And I honestly have zero more information to share with you. Thank you so much for joining me for this quick rundown. I will see you again another time. Thank you and goodbye.